We are trying to, based off of our current web traffic data, see if we can create new features that will allow us to use ML to predict unknown web attacks.
So we have to go through these things called web logs, which basically just tell you information about web traffic. And we have to try and figure out trends in web activity that we deem suspicious and see if we can find out anything that would sort of give us an indication that it could be an attack or a potential attack.
The very first challenge that pretty much all of us faced on this project was understanding what is suspicious, because we had never looked at weblogs before. How can I pick out some indicators that this is a web attack? Gamifying it is always fun because eventually it gets overwhelming combing through the same type of data. So keeping it lively by treating it like a game, I think has always been exciting. I think a little bit of it, keeping it lively, is introducing humor to our project, because looking at data can get really dry, honestly. But when you think about it from the perspective of, hey, let me see if I can turn this into like a detective game where I can look through the footprints and look through the queries of this one user and see what they were trying to figure out. That's always fun because you can pretend to be Sherlock Holmes, figure out a mystery of what they were trying to attack.
There's honestly a lot of data to work through. Our first data set that we worked with is over 7 million rows. And that's the first one.
When it came to working with this data, it was a lot of trying to figure out what stood as normal and what stood as abnormal. And that's why our mentor and our project lead was super helpful in helping us understand what that might have looked like.
Our project lead right now, his name's Eric Hope. He's one of the people over at OIT. Actually, he works a lot with the data and the weblogs. So honestly, he's kind of like the perfect companion for us. So even though he's technically a part of our client, he's definitely helping us out because we all have this shared goal of how in the world can we detect these unknown web attacks. Going into this project, I did do a lot of learning as I go. I learned a very big amount of pandas. That's almost majority of what I knew I learned from doing Data Plus. I think what excites me the most is really just seeing what kind of, for lack of a better term, what kind of shenanigans I can get into in the data set. I just I just kind of want to see, okay, I had this idea in my head. Is it going to work? Am I going to find something? One of the sponsors for our group is Cisco, and we've actually met with them and discussed some of our findings so far, and they seem really interested in what we're finding.